What's up, my degenerates? Welcome back to another episode of PlanBri Uncut, brought to you by High Noon. I usually don't drink High Noon in my bed, but it is the sponsor of this podcast, so it will be next to me at all times. High Noon is under 100 calories. It's made with real juices. It's made with real vodka. It's made with real tequila. And there's also a non-carbonated version if you want the iced tea pack. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It's my best friend. So if you haven't tried it yet, go to highnoonspirits.com to find a pack near you. We're in my bed again, and I didn't know if I knew I wanted to do PlanBri from my bed and be comfy and do like no makeup and just be like a very easygoing podcast. And I did have to record in the studio last week, and I heard your feedback. You guys liked it better in the bed. But I just didn't want you guys to think I'm like, I don't know, having scabies or like bed sores. Like, I'm not always in my bed, but I do think it is refreshing for some of these episodes. With my guest episodes, I don't think I'll have them in my bed, mostly because my room's a mess. Clothes are everywhere. And I don't know, like, do we hook up after if I have them in my bed? It just feels like, no, that's wrong. That's wrong. But I'm just saying, like, that's what it would feel like. Like, well, we're already in my bed. Want to kiss? And then that seems like taking advantage of my power, like a bad guy. So no one's coming in my bed. What am I talking about? I'm in my bed. All right. I'm back in New York City. I got back last night. I have some things that I want to cover. This episode is going to be majority my guide to becoming a Swiftie, but I do have a lot of other shit that I want to talk about first. And I know that I do have a lot of non-Swiftie fans, and I do know that I have a lot of people that maybe hate Taylor Swift or just don't give a shit about the Taylor Swift universe. I personally fell deeply in love with her music, and it changed my life. And I get so many DMs about like, I was in the same boat as you were. I didn't know anything about her. I really want to become a Swiftie. I don't know where to start. Also, maybe if you are a hater, listen to my take on it and it might change your mind. Or not even a hater. Maybe you're just not a believer yet. Okay. I think I could slowly turn you into a Swiftie. I have done that with a lot of you guys, and I'm not going to always talk about Taylor Swift, but it's my podcast and I want to talk about it for this episode, but that's not where we're starting. Also, I'm sorry if I seem like a bitch this episode. I'm getting my period as we speak. So my bed will be covered in blood as we speak. You know what I do when I first start getting my period? I sit in denial. I refuse to put a tampon in. I refuse to do anything about it. I free bleed, or I just like, am I being disgusting? But seriously, when I know it's coming, I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not. One more day. I have one more day. And I've been saying that for like 2 weeks now. And then I was like, okay, am I pregnant? And then I'm like, wait, hold your horses. That would mean you're Jesus. No, that would mean your Mother Mary, because I haven't had sex in Jesus. Man, I don't even know. It's gotten to the point where I don't even miss it. I don't think about it. It holds no value to me. That's how long it's been. I saw Rachel Connakirk. I know I'm saying that wrong. But she talked about it on Hallie's podcast. Last week, we talked about it a little bit on BFFs, where she said it's been years since she's had sex and she feels like a virgin again. Me and my friends, we all call each other the born again virgins because it's been that long. I don't know. I've always only hooked up with my boyfriends, but like I've only ever had sex with my boyfriends. I've never been a one night stand girl. Nothing against one night stands. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've just never really been able to get into it, to do it. I always just end up dating people. And I would love to get out there and do one night stands, but you know what? I can't. I don't want anyone in my room unless I trust you and I love you. I don't want to go to your house. You're disgusting. I don't want to talk to you. Like, I'm not comfortable enough with you. I've been like falling into the trap of hooking up with my friends, which is great for me, but then they do tend to fall in love with you and it's awful. And then it's like, fuck. So like, don't hook up with your friends. And then I can't have one night stands. So I'm like not hooking up with anyone. It's fine. I feel fine. I never have to worry about it. Like Kim Skims did that bush panties. I don't need to, I already have that naturally. So it doesn't matter. And it's like, oh, maybe if I did want to hook up with that person, can't probably have a bush right now. Yeah, just going to be completely open and honest about that. We do have a couple updates that I want to talk about. So the tight pants saga, I don't know if you're following me along on TikTok. If you are, you probably know what I'm talking about. I went to my sister's wedding in September. She invited a man, her and her now husband invited a man to set me up with. Okay. They had this planned 2 years in advance. And they had this planned when I was already with my ex-boyfriend. So they wanted, because everyone hated my ex-boyfriend, so they really wanted this guy to come in, break us up, and then happily ever after. Turns out this man lives in Texas. So I'm like, guys, what are you doing? This is never gonna work. Anyways, go to my sister's wedding. We have a great time. I go on a date with this guy. We chat a little bit. He's great. He's honestly sweet, nice, funny, great. Lives in Texas. That's why I'm not pursuing it. But I would FaceTime him a little bit here and there. Okay, let me FaceTime you. Okay, sure. I'm bored. Let me FaceTime you. Like, he's bored. He'll FaceTime me. Cool. Fun. Casual. So we're chatting. We're talking about maybe like possibly meeting up. If he's going to come to New York, maybe I'll go to Texas. I don't know. Like, I just say things to say things. I don't really ever mean them. Like, when I'm talking to men, now when I talk to men, nothing I say is true. Oh, yes, you look so great. You're so fun. You're so nice. I'm lying. I'm just talking to talk. I'm bored. I'm texting you. I genuinely hold no value in our conversation. And I know that's probably awful. I don't fucking care. I'm usually lying or just talking to talk when I'm talking to men. So I'm talking to this guy. He doesn't deserve that though. He's like a great person. And I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll come to Texas. You can come to New York, whatever. And then he sends me like out of the blue a picture of his pants because he was like going out. I don't remember the context of the pants, but he sends me the pants. The pants were nearly painted on. And listen, I get it. Skinny jeans are coming back for women. The pants were very tight. I ghosted him. I didn't answer. This for me was a problem. And here's why. Because I know I could just be like, hey, those pants are too tight. That feels mean to me. Like, I'll be mean here while I'm talking to you and I'm talking to my friends, but I'm not going to be mean to a person. Like, we're not going to be like, hey, those pants are super tight and you gave me the ick and I don't want to talk to you anymore. Like, hey, change your pants. Those are too tight. He loves those pants. He's wearing those pants. He sent me a picture of those pants. Who am I to be like, those pants are awful? I wear a lot of questionably horrible things. I like them. I feel good in them. If someone were to be like, hey, I hate those, I'd be like, you're a bitch. But it's different. Because like with girls in fashion, it's different than men in skinny jeans. Like, skinny jeans and men should be abolished. And I think we all know this. And I think all men, like in the bottom of their heart, they know this. Skinny jeans should be abolished. I don't know why so many men are addicted to skinny jeans. I just simply don't. It's the same thing. And I feel like skinny jeans wearing men feel the same way that baggy wearing jeans women feel about men being like, get rid of baggy jeans. They're so ugly. They do nothing for you. Skinny jeans men probably feel the same way when women are like, skinny jeans are so ugly. They're like, who are you to tell me what to do with my body? And you know what? Your body, your choice. Wear the skinny jeans. I'm just not going to contact you any further if you wear them. So that's where my head went. Sorry if you hear sirens going off. I am in New York City. And I just kind of stopped answering him. And then I made a TikTok about it. Because this man doesn't have TikTok. I know for a fact he doesn't have TikTok. We talked about it. He deleted it last year. We talk about how healthy it is for him and like how it changed his doom scrolling and he just has Instagram. Doesn't matter. One of his friends saw my TikTok. Sent him a link to the TikTok where you can open it up in a web browser, Safari, Chrome, I don't know, whatever you use. And let these sirens go away. All right, guys, quick commercial break. Big news. All right. This is for my kids on the campus. All right. You don't have to even be a kid on campus. Just you're on the campus. You're going back to school. All right. This is a new membership program just for students. So if you're a student, this is for you. Uber One for students is the best way to save on food and rides. Plus, it has a lot of perks that you might not know about. If you really haven't downloaded this yet and you're a student, you're just genuinely missing out. There's members. They get $0 delivery fees, up to 10% off eligible orders, and 6% back in Uber credits on rides. If you're a student, no brainer. You can try it out now and get the first 4 weeks free, and you can become an Uber One for Students member and start saving on Uber and Uber Eats. Eligibility and member terms apply. Make sure to check it out. Let's get back to the episode. So he gets the TikTok. Okay, sure. I'll kill myself right now with a gun in the head. I was mortified. He sends me a picture. I'll insert the text right here. And he's like, hey, hope you're doing well. I hope you like my new jeans. And for audio listeners, it's a picture of a man wearing really, really, really baggy jeans. So honestly, green flag. I was like, wow, he can laugh at himself. This is funny. So I answer him. We keep talking. I haven't answered him in a while. I just like, guys, it's not even that I'm emotionally unavailable. I am so unattached to the thought of being in a relationship and having to put in the time and effort. Because with a healthy relationship, it does take time and effort. And I just know I'm not in a space right now where, one, I have time to tend, to care, to love another like person romantically. I simply still really do not trust men, think they're 99% awful, a waste of time and useless to me. And 3, like I just haven't found someone where I could ever imagine wanting to spend that much time with them. So I feel like I'm wasting a man's time and I'm wasting my time by even entertaining anything. So like when I say I'm like ghosting or not answering or I'm like fumbling all these dudes, it's not because like, I don't know, I'm an idiot. It's because I just don't want a relationship. And I think this is so crazy to me because I was always the relationship girly in the sense, I talked about this with my therapist and I also talked about this on a podcast that I did yesterday. But I was always a relationship girly in the sense of I'm very motherly. I've been like that in all my friendships, in all of my relationships. I always needed someone to take care of. So in all of my relationships, I would always look for someone to take care of, even if they didn't really need taking care of. I love to take care of people. I love to mother people, not in the sense of like, you do this, you do that. It's like, what do you need? How can I help you? It's my love language in friendships and in romantic relationships. So I realized that all my times like in these relationships for the past, I don't know, I was in a relationship from 16 to 25. I neglected myself and took care of other people. This is also true in a lot of my friendships. And I was talking to my therapist about this and it was like, yeah, you're giving so much love and you're taking care of all these people, but you're putting yourself in the back seat. And once, I was finally single for a while, granted, I was in a very traumatic relationship. And I think like abuse really changes the way your brain works, the way you view things, and how I personally will view relationships for the rest of my life. But stepping out of a relationship for the first time in ever, and also stepping out of multiple friendships that I ended, tumultuous friendships that were I was just mother, like I always had to make decisions. I had to take care. I had to do everything. And it's like, I took myself out of those friendships. I took myself out of those circumstances. I took myself out of those relationships. And for once in my life, I actually have time to focus on me and there's no one other than my animals to take care of. And I'm like, holy shit, you receive so much more in life when you put all that love that you have into yourself. And it sounds so stupid and cliche and it's like, no shit, but I really did. And I think a lot of us do. We think that we're loving ourselves by giving so much love to others, when in reality, we're not feeding any into ourselves. We're giving everything that we have into other people. So I like luckily was able to realize that by being single. And I'm like, holy shit, what was I ever doing? Like, I feel so much more fulfilled in every aspect. And it's a weird trope and it's like a weird spectrum because I do feel so fulfilled and I do feel like just so independent and powerful again. And at the same time, you do feel really lonely, especially if you come from a history of long-term relationships, right? Like my first relationship was 3 years. My second relationship was 3.5, 4 years. My next relationship was about 1.5 years. My next relationship was 2 years, right? So I just so used to, and that is like my most fundamental, like mind forming, like really, really important years of my life that I spent learning and growing, but also being in a relationship. So it is kind of weird coming out on the other side, thinking that I would have been a relationship girly my whole life, to being 26 and now being like, oh, I had all my relationship fun. I don't. And what's crazy is when I was in those relationships, and you like, if you're a PlanBri listener from the get-go, you know that I never really like believed in marriage or believed in like something lasting forever. I think maybe it was always the cynic in me or maybe the trauma in me from my parents, but I just never really fully believed in that idea. And now that I had all my relationship fun and I did the boyfriend thing and I'm on the other side, I'm like, oh, I really am just going to be the fun auntie. Like I genuinely have no desire in wanting a relationship or a partner, which is also really lonely in the sense that I'm at the age where all of my best friends are getting married and getting engaged. And it's such a lovely, beautiful thing. And I'm like, I feel so much love for them and it makes me excited. And it seeing them get engaged and married, like makes me want to, it makes me in my head be like, oh, do I want that? And it's like, no, you're just happy for them and it's beautiful and it's great to watch, but that's not for you, especially right now. You know, things always change. But I don't think that there's going to be a Prince Charming or a Cinderella that like comes into my life that changes that perspective. One, because like I'm not meeting new people. Like I am, but like I go to all of these events and do all these things, and like I stay talking to the people that I come with or the people that I know. Where the fuck am I gonna? I'm not on dating apps. I'm not in a coffee shop like talking to strangers. Where am I even gonna meet this Prince Charming? Right? Like, how does that happen if you're not searching for one? Like, does he bump into me? Is he my Amazon delivery driver? Is he my doctor? I just don't know how I would even find that person. So yeah, I don't even know how that conversation started. I think it was with the tight pants saga and how I'm just, genuinely not looking for anything. And it's very liberating. It's very fun. I'm also just like not having sex, which like, I think I'm just going to be celibate for a very long time. The last time guys, I don't even know. Damn. Which is like fine. Like if I want to crack someone, I'll crack someone. Like it's not like I could get dick anytime I want, but that's a song lyric. I didn't just say it like that. Sorry. I didn't want you to think I was a freak, but seriously, if I wanted to, I could. I just don't want to. And hopefully I can get to that. I have a lot of like sexual trauma from my past relationship as well. So isn't it so fucked that one person can ruin that part of your brain forever? Prison. You deserve prison time, but you'll get none. Okay. So that's the tight pants saga. If he happens to listen to this, so sorry that I'm like not answering anything. It has nothing to do with you. You're actually perfect. And if you lived closer to me, I feel like I maybe would pursue you, but you don't. And I'm not doing a long distance anything. On other notes, I am going to Hawaii with a man that I have hung out with one-on-one 2 times. Crazy, I know. But who passes up a trip to Hawaii? Not me. I think that this man is just my friend. Granted, we did kiss one time. We did the smooching. So probably thinks that, I don't know what he thinks or what he wants from it, but we do have like giggles together. So he was like, do you want to go to a wedding with me in Hawaii? You can be my +1. I was like, sure, when? He was like, a couple weeks. I said, sure. We didn't talk. The other day he sends me my flights booked. I said, oh, this is happening? He said, yes, ma'am. I said, okay. What do I wear? It is tropical formal. So I don't know. That should be really interesting, guys. That's coming up in about 2 weeks. So we shall stay tuned for that. I'm really nervous for that, to be fucking honest, because this is someone that, like I said, have hung out one-on-one with 2 times. Both times heavily drunk. 4 days we're going to be living in a hotel room together. Yeah, so that should be very fucking interesting. Like I said, though, friends, and we'll probably kiss. Maybe I'll get cracked. Good for me, right? I had to slip that one in there. Okay. Next up, we have a couple pop culture headlines that I do want to talk about. So Kendall Jenner used to date Devin Booker, right? Devin Booker's sister gets on TikTok, I'm going to just go ahead and fucking say it, the weirdest, cringiest, creepiest, lamest video I've ever seen in my life. She's like, so yeah, my brother used to date Kendall Jenner, right? And this bitch, we're all sitting around playing Cards of Humanity. This bitch is like, I'm going to make cookies. Okay, fire. If I'm sitting around playing a card game, do you know what I want? A snack and a beverage. If someone was like, I'm going to make cookies, I'm going to be like, thank fucking God someone said that. She makes ready to bake cookies. All she has to do is cut them and they're lumpy. And then she serves us these cookies. What the fuck? So one, you just want to try to be relevant. The only thing that you have to cling on to is your brother dating Kendall Jenner. I know that your brother is so humiliated right now. You sound, one, like the meanest person ever. Two, you're clearly dying for attention. You couldn't get it any other way, any other views, any other clicks than to bring up Kendall Jenner. Like, at least give us like tea. Like, at least give us a good story. At least make it, she'd be like, she spit in the cookie. She farted on the cookie. She threw the cookie at my head. Like, this bitch tried to mollywop my mom with the pan. Like, lie. You're just making yourself look bad. Like, at least make it entertaining. If you're going to ruin your reputation online, at least lie and make it better. Right? Like, because now you're labeled as like just a mean freak. Like, at least be a mean freak with a good, funny story. Because now you're just a mean freak. That was very unnecessary. I hated that. Yeah, I don't know. Do better. At least like come up with a better story. Halloween is right around the corner. I personally am always underwhelmed by Halloween. I think it is overrated. I think when Halloween was fire was when we were children and when we could go trick-or-treating, and when it was like the big day and then you count all your candies. You go to the special houses with the big candy bars. You go to the haunted houses. Like, I love the month surrounding Halloween. I love a haunted house. I love getting spooked. I love like apple cider. I love the foliage. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I love carving pumpkins. I love being like, oh my God, I'm so excited for Halloween. Then Halloween rolls around and it's just never what it is. It's never what you want it to be. It's always a letdown. And maybe that's just my experience, but it's always a fucking letdown. I never get a costume in time. I never get a good costume. Maybe I'm just, I'm projecting because I never do Halloween right. Halloween right. Because I never do Halloween right. Nope. One more try. I never do Halloween. I never do Halloween right. Yes. Thank you. I do have a form of dyslexia in my brain, not with words on paper, but words in my brain. My scientist friend told me that. She's not a doctor, but she is a scientist. So I'm not entirely sure how much truth that holds, but it feels like it's true. Halloween sucks. I want to be Coraline this year. I'm supposed to go to LA tonight. I haven't booked my flight yet. Just going to be honest, I'm a diva in distress. If you can read my shirt, they're available now. Link in the description. But there's no first class seats left. Oh my God. How privileged you are. Why am I getting a phone call? Decline. I'm literally fucking busy talking to my best friends right now. Yeah, I am privileged. I'm aware of my privilege. I have scoliosis. I like to lay down, and I simply don't want to sit in the back of the plane when I know what the front of the plane is like with the lay down seat. Surely that's on me. Surely. I know. Do I sound like a spoiled rotten brat? Yeah. Okay. And I don't know what to do because I need to go to LA for work, and I'm seriously diva in distress right now. Like, I don't want to sit in the middle seat. Okay, I panic on flights. I have this new panic attack syndrome where I don't know what the fuck is happening, but every single time I get on a plane, I can't breathe and it feels like I'm swallowing my tongue, and my breathing becomes involuntary. It becomes voluntary, and I have to remind myself to breathe. It's already stressful enough in a lay down seat. Picture me in the back in the middle, and I'm too aware of my surroundings to get up on a plane. I don't want to make people get up and move around. So I always sit in the window and I won't get up. I won't go to the bathroom. I'll hold my pee. I'll shit my pants if I have to because I don't want to disturb the people next to me. So it's just a nightmare back there for me. And trust me, I did it for 25 years. But I got a little money in my pocket. And the one thing I spend my money on, first class. But they don't have first class seats, so I don't really know what to do. I don't know if I'm supposed to go to LA for Halloween or what. Who knows if I'm going to LA? I'd rather just not go. Now I'm stressed out. I got to stop thinking about it because I'm talking to you guys and I can't seem to be stressed out right now. Halloween sucks. It blows. I want to be Coraline. Don't have anything to do with the costume yet. So I'm clearly not going to be anything from Halloween besides depressed. That's probably what I'm going to be for Halloween this year. Or maybe I'll try to be happy. That's a costume. I'll just walk around and be bubbly and smiley and happy and pretend to like everyone and think that the world is full of good people. Yeah, I'll be a liar. You know what I'll be for Halloween? I'll be a liar, and I'll walk around and say, I'm happy, this country's amazing, and everyone is great. That's what I'll be for Halloween, a big fat fucking liar. Yeah. So also one more thing about Halloween. Why has it become so divisive? Is there so much discourse and rhetoric about what people are for Halloween, how people should dress. If you're wearing a hot girl costume, if you're wearing a stupid costume, if you're trying to be funny, who gives a fuck? Halloween sucks in general. Can you just shut up and move on? Okay, let's get into Taylor Swift. Also, before I get into Taylor Swift, bring back heisting. The heisting of the Louvre, the most greatest, best thing I've ever seen in the world. It's incredible. Bring back heisting. It's just a bunch of rich things in glass. Who gives a fuck? Stealing things like that is cool and fun, and you get to make movies about it. And I think heisting is awesome. We should bring back more of it. If anyone needs someone to join their heisting team, I'm dead ass down. I have a really hard time keeping anything a secret, so you probably have to kill me after we do the heist. But I would love to join a heisting team. Dead ass. Taylor Swift. Okay. All right, guys, quick commercial break for Game Time. So we can't wait for all the amazing concerts coming up this fall. I'm actually I have a lot of concerts booked, busy. I can't wait. I love concerts. I think especially in the winter and when it starts getting cold out, like finding fun things to do inside. Concerts, my number one thing to do when the weather starts getting colder. So we want to focus on the music, not the cost or the stress. Game Time puts the power back in the hands of fans. It's your go-to hack for scoring amazing tickets and unforgettable experiences in just a few taps. It's incredibly easy to use, and the Game Time guarantee makes it so that you can 100% authenticate tickets on time and for the best price. So plus fees are always included. So what you see is what you pay. You're not going to like go to checkout and it's going to be $1 million more. I was looking at tickets for Billie Eilish and there's tickets as low as $92. Best, like literally the best $92 you could ever spend in your life is going to a Billie Eilish concert. Oh my God, amazing. Take the guesswork out of buying concert tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code PlanBri for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code PLANBRI for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today, baby. Let's get back to the episode. I did just ramble for a long time, so I'll try not to make the rest of this so long. But I do have a lot to say about Taylor Swift and becoming a Swiftie. It has been one of... And I know that this is going to sound so corny. I want to start off with saying this is the guide to become a normal Swiftie. This is no hate, no shade, no tea to the crazy Swifties or like the ones that are so invested in every detail or are so invested with Taylor's life or what she does, how she moves, where she lives, what everything is about. I am a Swiftie in the sense of I am in love with her lyricism. I think her music has saved me in ways that nothing else could. No like works of film, no books, no talk with my therapist could have helped me the way that some of her music has. And it's not just Taylor. I will definitely give you a lot of other people that changed my life musically. Music has always been a really big part of my life. I love music. I can't do anything creative without music on. I can't do any writing without music on. Most of my ideas to do with anything in life like stem from a song that I've listened to, a lyric that I've read, the way that a song makes me feel. Like whenever I write a lot of like screenplays and like movie scenes in my head. And when I'm writing scripts or I'm thinking about these things, like I'm writing a short film right now. And every idea that I ever start with when I'm writing film or like screenplays starts from a song. Like I'll listen to a song in my car and I will picture this whole scene and then I'll create characters based off of like this scene that I created with this song. So like music is very important to me. And I get that music isn't that for everyone. So if you love music, this is for you. If you don't, it's like, I totally get it. Music isn't that for everyone. But for me, music is like so special, so important. It holds so many memories. It holds so many like time capsules for me. I can listen to certain things and it transports me back. Okay, why'd I sound like Kodak Black? Transporting everybody. No, okay, shut up. Even that, like that just brought me back to Kodak Black. But it can transport me back to like literal exact moments in time. And I have short-term memory loss. Like seriously, I'm struggling with it. Getting worried. Can't like, side note, me and Megan are rewatching. She has never watched Stranger Things. That was my favorite show ever. So I'm like rewatching it with her. Like I said, my favorite show. I'm rewatching with her. I don't even remember it. It was not that long ago. You're telling me I can't even remember it? I don't even remember what happens in the show, my favorite show. I'm worried about this. Music helps me jog my memory. And I found Taylor Swift in a way that I think a lot of people do. I was going through something very traumatic, and I definitely clinged to her more sad music, I guess, melancholy music, more of her lyricism rather than her pop songs, because her pop songs are bangers and they're very catchy, but they're maybe not as, a lot of them are, but maybe a lot of them aren't as well, like just in tune with her feelings and like just very deep. I fell in love with a lot of her songs that just make me feel a certain way. And I dead ass feel like she is a diary of myself in a lot of ways. And it's so crazy because so many of us feel that way. And the way that this girl has so much talent that she can make everyone feel like she is in their head and she is writing from their point of view. And maybe her songs don't mean exactly the way that we take them, but to have the talent to even create that feeling when it might not even be what she intended is just so goddamn beautiful and brilliant. So I never really was a big Swiftie. I went to her concerts back in the day. Like I went to the Red Tour. I think I went to 1989. I don't remember. I used to go to them when I was younger. Loved them. Loved Taylor. Always had loved Taylor. And then I kind of fell off the bandwagon. I kind of became like a really diehard Miley Cyrus fan, the Bangers era. And I just like thought she was like bad girl. And I really fell into like the trope of you could only have one idol. And it was Miley. And I would like literally not change that for the world. Bangers is still one of my top 5 albums. I think it is incredible. But that's when I like kind of really fell off of the Taylor Swift train. I just really fell in love with Miley Cyrus. And that's when Taylor started putting out a lot of her albums that were just absolutely epic and amazing. And I just didn't give them the time of day because I associated Taylor Swift with, I'm going to be openly honest in this podcast, with like crazy horse girls and losers. Oops, I did though. Like I really did think that I had this very skewed, wrong, mean girl mentality in high school towards Swifties. Probably because what if like I fell for the media traps of like what people said about Swifties, and like I only saw the extremists, kind of what I talked about on the first episode of PlanBri. Like you only see, not to make this political, but you really do only see the extreme sides of things on social media. You never just kind of see the normal people. And I think like the extremists were pushed onto me and onto me and onto me, and I was like, okay, I'm not obsessed with Taylor Swift like that. So it turned me off from her music, which is sad because that was when she was making like some of her greatest music ever. And that's kind of why I was always like, I don't get it. It started with the fandom, or what I thought the fandom was, and I couldn't have been more wrong because the fandom has welcomed me, like the actual Swifties have welcomed me in with such open arms and have taught me so much. And yeah, it's definitely a beautiful, brilliant world to be a part of. And it's very uplifting and welcoming. And God, I like am so grateful for the community that the Swifties are. And I'm proud to be becoming one slowly but surely. Okay, so I found Taylor after betrayal with my fat, abusive rat ex. So this is my guide to Taylor Swift if you're going through heartbreak, if you're going through just like pivotal changes and you're trying to cope with all of that, because I know everyone has a different Taylor experience. So this is for people that are experiencing what I went through, something similar, and trying to find peace within music. This is my guide after, not heartbreak, like just like after being broken, or just being treated so poorly. This is my guide into Taylor Swift. So it will be different than if you're just trying to like find the bangers and trying to find like the bops, and it's going to be different. So of course, I'm curious. I want to know all of your guys's like intros to Taylor, how it started, why you became a Swiftie, and like kind of your journey with it, because I think everyone's is different, but I think a lot of people don't find Taylor until you need Taylor, which is what happened with me. Funny enough is I actually started listening to Taylor while I was with my ex. And you notice how like my quote unquote hatred for Taylor was like at its peak when I was with him, is because he fucking hated her so much, made fun of her so much. I'll never forget when the Tortured Poets Department came out. We were like in his green room and I walk in after show, before show, whatever. I was like on the bus and he's playing it on the speaker and he's just, what song was it? It was So High School. He was listening to So High School and he like throws the speaker. He's like, I cannot believe that people associate this garbage with good lyricism and the greatest songwriter of our goddamn time. And like, I'm so brainwashed into like, he brainwashed me into thinking that he was the greatest of all time in every sense of music. So I was like, oh, if he's saying this, he's got to be right. And it like built this misogyny and hatred for her music in me, without even knowing that it was just all wrong. And like, I'll never forget, we had this sticky, on the bus, we had sticky notes. And we would like just like write, or he would mostly just like write notes on it. Like whenever he did something bad to me, it was like a bunch of apologies. And there was a sticky note that wrote Taylor Swift is a lyrical doofus instead of genius on it on the bus. And I wonder if it's in the back of any of my videos on the bus. I'm sure someone could find that. Yeah, I was kind of mind fucked into thinking that the Tortured Poets Department was bad. And that ended up being my gateway to Taylor Swift. And I started listening to her and the Tortured Poets Department while I was still with him, because I was kind of coming to senses of what I was going through. And this is when I started making the video diaries and being like, I need to get out. This isn't right. I shouldn't feel this way. I'm fucking 100 pounds. This isn't right. So I started listening to the Tortured Poets Department. I actually posted one of my drafts on TikTok where I'm in the house watching the Eras Tour live, like with him, and he's upstairs and I'm like, I've got to fucking leave this dude, and I'm listening to The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. So my intro to her was through his hatred of her, where I was like, yeah, I gotta hate her, I gotta listen. And then I started listening and I'm like, she does not suck. Why do I feel everything that she's saying? So my guide to Taylor Swift, I want to go through albums. I'm not going to go into depth about like every song, but I want to go through like my starting pack of albums, which albums to start with, why, and like kind of where to end with. So I started with the Tortured Poets Department. It is the most beautiful album to ever grace the goddamn earth, especially when you are experiencing anything to do negative with a man or a relationship or a friendship even. Like, it is so lyrically driven, and you're not going to like it if you aren't feeling what the lyrics are saying. But my gateway song was The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived and I Hate It Here. I Hate It Here. I was living in Duxbury and I would get in my car and I would just play over and over I Hate It Here over and over, and I would drive around the neighborhood and it would just be on blast and on blast and on blast, and I couldn't get that song out of my head, and I just kept saying to myself, I hate it here, I hate it here, I hate it here. And I ended up getting it tattooed on me the night of the Eras tour. And yeah, it is just a beautiful song. So I think where we have to start, if you're going through heartbreak, heartache, betrayal, is the Tortured Poets Department. I have a million songs in it that you should listen to, but of course my number 2 are going to have to be the ones that got me into Taylor Swift. Even if they're not my favorite currently, they are the ones that opened the gates for me. And that is I Hate It Here and The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. Duh. That album is amazing. At the end, I'm going to go through my top on all of her albums. But next, I would dump into Evermore. Champagne Problems was like my first song that was like, okay, I'm going to become a Swiftie, because I thought that I just liked the Tortured Poets Department, but Champagne Problems, I was like, okay, she makes bops, but they're lyrically incredible and everything I relate to, and it's such, the storytelling is amazing. So you're going to go from the Tortured Poets Department into Evermore. We're still hurting, we're still feeling, we're still angry, and then we're going to go to Folklore. Again, you're still angry, you're still healing, but you're starting to like find glimpses of hope. You're also kind of in that, like, to me, what Folklore is, it's such a roller coaster. it's that feeling that healing isn't linear. And when you listen to folklore from front to back, it feels that way. It's like one day you can have like such a high and all these negative, awful feelings aren't there. That comes through with the music. And then like, oh my God, it's like, damn, I'm still here. Still at the restaurant. And then it's like, oh my God, Exile's on there. But then it goes up in waves. So like to me, if you just look at folklore, it is literally the representation of healing isn't linear for me. So 1, you're going to start with the Tortured Poets Department. 2, you're going to go to Evermore. 3, you're going to go to folklore. Then I think this is when you're coming out of like all of that negativity and especially with being with a narcissist, like the smear campaign that happens with it. Reputation for me was next. And it's like I can finally actually feel Reputation. Rep is one of the best albums ever fucking created. It is so beautiful. It is so angry. It is so honest. It is so intimate and personal. And like after folklore going to Reputation, this is when you're like kind of getting your fucking pep in your step back. Okay. Like you're still angry though. Those emotions haven't left, but you're like, I know who the fuck I am. I know what the fuck happened. I'm not sitting in a sad corner crying anymore. Like I don't have the Tortured Poets Department on repeat anymore. You know what? Like I'm in my rep era. I've got this. And this is when you're kind of like coming out of those flames and you're starting to find yourself again. But like I said, you're still angry and you're still having those feelings. All right, guys, quick commercial break. Like I said, like I always talk about Uber One for students. There is so much that you're missing out on if you don't have it. It's Uber One for students. We talked about it earlier, but this is the best way to save on food and rides. Plus it comes with so many perks. So you can get free items on eligible days throughout the week, like a free taco from Taco Bell Tuesday, a free chicken sandwich from Popeyes every Friday, and more deals for every day of the week from brands that you love. What are we like? Who doesn't want a free taco every Tuesday? Who doesn't want a free Popeyes chicken sandwich on a Friday? I mean, what the heck are we waiting for? Try it out now and get your first 4 weeks free. Become an Uber One for Students member and start saving on Uber and Uber Eats. Eligibility and member terms apply. Let's get back to the episode. From Reputation, you're going to go to Midnights, because Midnights is kind of like Midnights for me is like you're still having those feelings of hurt and you don't really know what to do with them or how to put them in their boxes and how to move on with those feelings. It's like, okay, I'm kind of over what happened to me in the sense of I'm not stuck in bed every day anymore, or I'm not constantly thinking about it, but I still have those feelings. What the hell do I do with them? Where do I put them? For me, that's Midnights. I feel like it really encapsulates those feelings of like, fuck, I went through all this fucking shit. And it makes you think about even relationships before that and how they were beautiful and like how you kind of fucked those up. And it takes all of that darkness and like misplaces it. And it starts to remind you of everything that happened before and all that is to come after all of the tragic shit that happened to you, while still being able to talk about your feelings. That's what Midnights is to me. And it's also bops, very much bops. And there's so many things mixed in there. But like would've, could've, should've. Stop. That song. Oh my God. But like, that's what I mean by Midnights is like, you're able to talk and feel about what happened to you, but you're not clinging on to it like a sad person anymore. Like you're just like, yeah, this is my shit. I'm owning it. This is what happened. And I'm like, I wish it had never happened. I'm better for it. But like, fuck, I want to scream it from the rooftops. That's what Midnights is for me, mixed in with like a bop. You know, like, oh, remember that ex actually 3 exes ago where it's like, he was really good, but like you were Midnight Rain and you just like kind of fucked that whole thing up. Yeah, that's what Midnights is for me. Then I go to 1989 where it's just like, I feel like I'm happy again and I'm able to talk about my feelings, but I'm clean. Like, it still hurts. It's still there, but I'm able to have fun and be me again. And like, I want to dance around. I don't want to like have my sad girl music in. 1989 is so underrated. I mean, I know everyone loves it, but for me, I feel like it's even underrated in my own head. Because when I was going through all of the albums before like prepping for this podcast, I was like, holy shit, I didn't know how many songs I really, really loved on 1989. I think I always kind of hone in on the Tortured Poets Department, Evermore, and Folklore as like my trifecta. But sneaky 1989 is like amazing. Speak Now too. But okay. After 1989, I would go to Red. Taylor's version, of course, because of the vault tracks. But Red to me is just everything. It has All Too Well 10-minute version. And I'll never forget when I went to the Eras tour and I did the Swiftie sleepover. I like surprised a bunch of Swifties with tickets to the last Eras tour and the show of the Eras tour. And I had heard like All Too Well before, but I had never watched the short film or like the All Too Well 10-minute version video. And they sat me down and watched it. And the first 2 minutes of it, I started literally bawling. This was in, what month was this in? I think it was November or December of this year. And I couldn't even watch it. I had to go to the bathroom. I sobbed. And now I love watching that video. I love screaming that song. It's my favorite song to ever exist in the whole entire world of anything ever. And like, to me, that was kind of like, okay, I can listen to Red now, where it's like, I feel it. I love it. I wouldn't start with Red ever. But for me, like, this is where I end my like journey into Taylor Swift. I didn't want to do every single album. I just wanted to do my intro, because once you love her, then you start to like dip into every other album. But these albums meant the most to me. And I kind of ended with really loving Red, because obviously All Too Well 10-minute version, but then we have Begin Again, we have Better Man. This album to me is just so like, I can do it. I can do it, and I can talk about what happened to me, and I can like feel it, and then I can scream Red, and then like We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together. Like, I can scream these songs now, and I enjoy it. It's not sad anymore. It's just something that happened to me. Like, it's not everything that I am. It's just something that happened to me. That's what Red feels like to me. So that is my guide into becoming a Swiftie if you're going through heartbreak. I also will link, I have an unexpected Swiftie playlist that I have all of my songs from, that I've like listened to almost every day, that I will link for you guys. But I wanted to do something special, but it was one of the hardest things that I ever had done. I wanted to make like a mega album for you guys, where I picked 3 songs from each album, and that's like my mega album. I know that I probably should have actually really tried, but the more that I listened, because I spent like, it was honestly really fun. I spent hours listening and taking notes and like reading lyrics and trying to decipher 3 songs from each album, which just is physically impossible. I think there were a few albums that I was able to do it for, but I did end up with 89 songs. I know. But there's so many albums, and all of these songs are really important to me. So I'm just going to go through these quickly. I will also link this playlist for you below. I am a Spotify girly, so if you're not on Spotify, then listen to this, because I will say them all out loud for you. But I also want to like chat about them a little bit. Okay. So this is my mega album. If I could pick songs off of each album and create one big mega album of Taylor Swift, we're going to start with Taylor Swift, her EP, her first record. 1, Picture to Burn, Should Have Said No, Teardrops on My Guitar. Then we're going to go into Fearless. I did Fearless, You're Not Sorry, 15. So those are one of the only 2 albums that I actually picked 3 from. Then I got to Speak Now, and I forgot how good Speak Now was. Like, I really forgot how good Speak Now was. It is so underrated. I think she's just come out with so much music that is so good that you forget that when she started, she was just as good. So Speak Now was really hard for me. I couldn't pick 3. I wanted to pick more than I even did, but obviously I'm going to go Dear John, Better Than Revenge, Enchanted, Back to December, and Haunted. Haunted is the best song ever created, bro. Haunted is like, wow. I can't get enough of Haunted, man. It is too freaking good. Okay, for Red, obviously Taylor's version, because there's the vault tracks, but Begin Again, Better Man, All Too Well 10-minute version, Nothing New. Yeah. I feel like I could add more from that, but I'm going to try to be concise. because I can't add fucking everything. Next, we have Lover. I really do love the album Lover. But I just don't think it like changed my life in any way. I try to just name the albums for the last part of like albums that changed my life, or changed my chemical makeup in my brain. For Lover, I would do The Man. That song is amazing. Just the lyrics, what it means, the message, love, 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 love. The Archer, Lover, Cornelia Street, Death by a Thousand Cuts. Wait, maybe I really do love Lover more than I thought. And then I Forgot That You Existed. Okay, next we have Rep. I Did Something Bad. Ready for It. Don't Blame Me. Delicate. I just love Delicate so much. Look What You Made Me Do. Getaway Car. Dress. I love Dress so much. Call It What You Want. Obviously love that song so much. Yeah, so I have a lot from Rep. Then we have 1989. Blank Space. Style. Out of the Woods. Bad Blood. Wildest Dreams. Wildest Dreams is such a fucking banger. I hadn't listened to that in so long. I've kind of been on my like sad girl music lately. I listened to Wildest Dreams while I was prepping for this, and oh my God, I forgot how much of a banger that was. Like going to listen to it every single day for at least it's going to be my fixation song for the next week. Wildest Dreams is so good and I forgot about it. Then we have Clean, New Romantics, and Is It Over Now? So 1989, I definitely had a lot of songs from. Next, we have Midnights. Lavender Haze, beautiful. Maroon, duh. You're on Your Own, Kid, banger. Anti-Hero. I don't necessarily love how this song sounds, but I do really love what it says. Midnight Rain, God is it good. Mastermind, that might be the greatest song ever created of all time. I know I'm saying that about a lot, but like goddamn Mastermind is amazing. Bejeweled, just like obviously. Sweet Nothing, obviously. Would've, Could've, Should've, I mean, God fucking obviously. The Great War, what else could I say? And then Bigger Than the Whole Sky. Yeah, I really love Midnights actually too. This is where I get into the shit that I love. Okay, Folklore. Do you know how hard it was not to add every single song on Folklore? The One, this reminds me of my college ex. I say that all the time. I just love that song. Cardigan, Exile, My Tears Ricochet, August, This Is Me Trying, Illicit Affairs, Mad Woman, Invisible String, Peace, Hoax, The Lakes. Fucking banger of an album, dude. Like, banger of an album. And they just hold up. Like, they stand the test of time. All of her songs, truly. Like, they just stand the test of time. Like, going back to Speak Now, like, she was just so ahead of her time. Next, Evermore. We have Willow, Champagne Problems, Tolerate It, Dorothea. I love Dorothea so much. This was also kind of one of my gateway drugs, that my Swiftie bestie Harry introduced me to. And he always has a story of why he thinks I would love a song, which I think is so sweet. And then it like really makes me resonate with the song more. So Dorothea, Ivy, long story short, it was the wrong eye. Majori. I don't know if I ever say that right. Evermore, Right Where You Left Me, It's Time to Go. Then we have the Tortured Poets Department. It's also so hard for me not to add every single song on this. So on London, Who's Afraid of Little Old Me, Love of My Life, Loss of My Life, whatever you want to call it. I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived, The Black Dog, The Alchemy, Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus, How Did It End? I Hate It Here, The Prophecy, I love that song, Cassandra, Peter, Robin. I know there's a lot of Robin haters. I really just like it. I don't know. I think it's good. And then for The Life of a Showgirl, I tried to only do 3: Father Figure, Actually Romantic, and Opalite. That was probably the easiest one for me. I don't know. I'm just like really not that attached to The Life of a Showgirl. I think it's great. I'm just not as attached to it as I am every other album, clearly. That's my guide to becoming a Swiftie. I think that music is a beautiful thing. I think Taylor Swift's music is especially a beautiful thing for girlhood. She encapsulates a lot of things that we all experience in ways that we aren't able to explain ourselves, which is why I really love her and why I love music. Yeah, it's just like, I don't give a fuck about who she dates, what she does, what she wears, what she buys, where she lives. Like, I really don't. It's fun to like play along when you really love a person's music. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm excited she's engaged. It's amazing. It's cool. But I just genuinely love her music. I think that she changes people's lives through her music and brings people together. She saved me in a lot of different ways, and I will always be grateful for Taylor Swift in that sense. Like, I don't really give a fuck about anything else. I'm not out here like buying the vinyls and shit, which is like fine if you do. I'm just saying, like, you can appreciate someone's music without feeling like how I used to think the Swiftie universe was. I would say I'm a level-headed Swiftie. I appreciate her music. I think she is a genius. I think she is the greatest songwriter of our generation. I think she is the most hardworking, independent, baller ass role model for women. I do believe that. She is just talented and so driven, and like nothing can stop her, which is really cool. Nothing can stop her. It's so cool to see like all that she does, through all of the hate that she gets, through everyone kind of like shitting on her and what she does constantly, to just like keeping like, nope, proved you wrong. It's really cool and inspiring to watch. So that's why I love Taylor Swift, and her music has gotten me through shit that I don't even know. Honorable mentions, if you don't want to necessarily listen only to Taylor Swift, if you want to mix some things in there, Olivia Dean's new album that's my album of the month. Like, I listen to it way more than I listen to The Life of a Showgirl. It's fucking incredible. This Wasn't Meant for You. Lola Young's album is just, there's no skips on that album. Yeah, I'm gonna link a bunch of playlists for you guys, because I just think music is the answer. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope that I help you become a Swiftie if you're not. I hope that we can have some debates, maybe some like healthy debates in the comments below about what is good from Taylor Swift, what I missed, what I should have replaced. Like, I'm so interested in knowing everyone else's Swiftie journey. And yeah, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you next Sunday. New episodes of PlanBri drop every Sunday. So I know I didn't really say that when the beginning of this happened. I just figured like we all remembered, but no, we switched to Sundays. I think Sunday's the greatest day ever to chill and listen and just like kind of reset. So I figured it was a perfect day to listen to a podcast. Whether you're driving, whether you're watching, whether you're cleaning, whatever you're doing, PlanBri will be in your ears on a Sunday or whatever day you listen to this. I hope the rest of your day is magical, your night is perfect, and you hug someone you love. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you next Sunday. Bye.